When seeing this video, most of you were thinking, what is this guy on about? Of course Warfarin buff is better. And I agree with you, Warfarin is the better operator by miles. It's not even a competition. Or is it? Warfarin is better talent, her healing is better, and her attack buff makes some operators like Exuzii melt bosses. So why would you ever use Sora? Before we get into that, this video isn't just for the sake of comparing these two operators. I made this video to help new players better understand who to use in different scenarios. The main and core difference is that the Bard operator gives you buffs from their own attack. So when Elite 2 level 80 Sora S2 gives 100% attack buff, she is adding a flat 335 attack to the buffed operator attack stat. On the other hand, when other buffers like Warfarin's skill 2 give a plus 90% attack buff, it increases the buffed operator's own attack by plus 90%. For example, Typhon's attack will increase from 1045 to 1985 when using Warfarin buff, whereas if you were using Sora it would be only increased to 1380. So now you might be asking, what are the use cases of Bard operators like Sora? The first and obvious use case is AoE buff. Bard operators buff everyone in their range, where other buffers can only buff one operator and you have to set it up where it's the only operator in their range because the targeting is random. Stainless can buff 3 different operators at the same time, but he has to split his buffs, and he alongside his devices costs a lot of DP, unlike Bards who have a cheap DP cost. The second use case is when the operator you are buffing has low attack. For example, Mecha Cord casters like Golden Glow. The difference is negligible, but Sora has lower DP cost. It's easier to apply her buff, and her buff has a longer duration, which is 30 seconds, the same as Golden Glow's skill. AoE medics are also great targets for Bard's buff. An operator like Talopsis gets her attack doubled, so in harder waves it is better to deploy a Bard instead of another medic, because again, they are cheaper to deploy and they can buff other operators too. The third use case is the buff duration synergy. I talked about how Sora's duration is perfect for some operators with a low attack, but you should also consider using it with operators with a medium attack like Lord Guards, Reaper Guards, and all kinds of medics. They get a lower attack buff, but with the longer duration they deal about the same damage as they would have done with Warfarin's buff. This case is a bit little more niche, as you should focus on buffing your damage dealers rather than your lane holders in harder stages. But the ultimate use case will always be using Sora to buff both Warfarin and the damage dealer. This was just a quick video to let new players know what operator to use in these situations. Let me know what you think about this kind of video where I talk more about the gameplay. Thank you for watching.